Hello everybody, so here we are out in the woods and not in the shop today. This is a new series that I'm starting. This is actually going to be about the bug out bags and bobs, if you will. We'll just call them bobs from here on out. So what I've been doing for a while is putting together a bug out bag. I mean, just the way things are going in the world, you just never know. And in my mind, it's better to have a tool ready than get into something and not have anything to go with. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're out here in the woods and we're going to be using the bag. The challenge is, let me show you the good challenge here. So the challenge is there's no water. Yeah, here's the canteen. There's no water. Nothing in the cup. Nothing in the cup. See, nothing in the cup, nothing in the canteen. They're empty. So after getting mosquito dope on, we're going to be trying to come up with water. And there's different sources. We'll go over the Bob bag a little bit of what I've packed and why. But the main challenge is to get some water for coffee in the morning, because that seems necessary to me right now. But I'll show you what I have. Let's just go on with this. So I got sunglasses, I got my hat, t-shirt, nice pair of camo shorts, yeah, ignore the legs, tennis shoes, just regular beaters with socks, and I have the camera gear, a cell phone, recharger for the camera. Over here, there's the bag, the famous bag. And we're going to get into what's in that bag, but that's all the gear I have. There's nothing packed extra. Okay, so before we get started on this water gathering technique, we're going to start out with the acronym SERE, S-E-R-E, survival, evade, resistance, and escape. So it's military training. It's what they train you to do, where you're gonna survive and not die on them, but evade your enemy, cause them some damage if you have that ability and an opportunity, and then escape to a safer ground. So that's the premise for a Bob bag. To have those components in it. I was shocked and horrified, amazed for some part at the videos that I did watch of Bob bags that people put together. A lot of them seemed like they were just focusing on one thing. Maybe they're going to pack every gun and every amount of ammo they have in there, and they're going to run out in the woods and just start shooting everything. And it wasn't very balanced from what I've seen. It was kind of scary, I got to admit that. So what I tried to do, putting this bag together, was to be flatline as possible, reasonable, keep in mind what my skills were, and not have an ego and thinking that all I needed was a knife and I'd live for years out here. That's not the way I went at this. I went there to a Bob bag is just a tool bag. That's what it is. I put tools in there to I got a tent, I got a sleeping bag. I didn't put 500 yards of fishing line that I could weave a bed in a tent. It's just, it's clear cut, it's simple, expended energy to a minimum, and the main thing is to evade, to not be detected. So that's kind of the premise I'm going with. The tent is a one-man pop tent. It's got 2 stakes and that's it, some strings, you're done. Sleeping bag is good to 40 degrees, so you got that, but it's small. That was the other guideline I went with. I didn't pack anything that I didn't feel that was limited in its ability. I didn't pack an axe, a hatchet, a tomahawk head, nothing like that. I wanted to keep that weight down, which I came up with like 36, 37 pounds on this pack. It's like carrying a small toddler through the woods. So, I wanted to be able to pack stuff that was versatile, and I needed food, I need water. That's what I need out here. Shelter, that's one thing. A tent took care of my shelter, and it's windproof, waterproof. It's got the bug screens in it, and I found it on Amazon. I think it was like 30 bucks. Money well spent. And you know, it's just, that's the way you got to go with this. Now, the food and the water are the main things. 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. The water, essential. So what I have is I brought some black trash bags. I have the water purification tablets, and I have a life straw. So, you know, if I can find a mud puddle out here and I'm thirsty, I'm breaking that life straw out. I'm not even going to be shy about it. But there is no bodies of water in this woods. There's no creeks, there's no ponds, there's no mud puddles. The corn is all rolled up outside. The leaves are all rolled up, and what that means is there's no chance of water coming. It's funny that when the rain's moving in, you'll see those corn leaves will unroll. They'll be nice and wide, and that's to catch all that moisture. Right now, they're rolled tighter than a cigar right now. So the chance of rain coming is not going to happen either. So I can't even prepare for that. So I'm going at this like a buddy of mine, Tim Black, told me one time. He said, you were told to expect the unexpected. So, but if you expect the unexpected, then wouldn't that make it expected? That's a lot of reasoning there. And I've already also been told that my first method of finding water is a method that you can go anywhere in this world and use and find water. Sahara Desert, whatever. I was told you could find water. We're going to try it in this good old clay Indiana soil and see what's going to make. And that's where we're going to start. So here we go. Okay, we're going to start here. This is something that I bought instead of an axe. We're going to get this canteen off the pack and out of the way because it's empty. There's nothing to it. This is doing me no good at this point. So we're going to put that to the side. But this, I picked this up, I think Lowe's or something. This is Frisker's made this. It's a small bush axe, but it seemed to have, you know, light. It's got multiple blades here. It's got a serrated blade on top. It's got this nice hook. That'd be good for digging. It's kind of flat across here, so we can shovel. So that's why I chose this tool. All right, so this leads me to the other. Oh, bug spray. That's coming important. Yeah, I got to find that other item. Yeah, there's a lot of pockets on this bag. Here we go. So now I got a trash bag. There we go, trash bag. We're just going to use one of those. We'll put the other one to the side for now. I'm going to take the canteen cup. We're going to need that. We're going to need the trash bag. And we're going to need this. Let's go find some water. Okay, so this looks like a... Alright, so I think this is a pretty good spot. We're going to get that debris out of there and we're going to dig a hole. There's a lot of vegetation in this area, so hoping that the water is not too far below the surface. First thing we're going to do is clear all that out. Yeah, soil's somewhat damp already, so you might have cut out the middleman on this one. Normally this root we chop it out if I wanted to make this hole bigger, but it's not hurting anything. My cup's not still going to sit beside it, so I'm not going to waste energy taken out, and you know, it's a living thing. It needs to keep living. I'm not so driven with my ego that this is needed to be taken out. That's all I'm saying. The hole is coming. We're down in the Indiana clay right now. That's because just chopping and slashing, and then using the flat here to dig, break that out, and we're getting there. It's not a slow or a fast process by any means, but it is working. So we're just gonna have to keep at it. And I think the next time I'll show you this is when we're ready to finish it out. And we're gonna get the set flat. Okay, so get that all nice and out. And so the cup's going to sit in the middle of the hole. Bag's going to cover it, like so. And you don't want it insanely tight. You just want it somewhat. The main thing is to keep it sealed, and the rest of it should work out. Right. So what's going to happen is the water is going to come up, moisture is going to come up against that bag and condensate or collect. And then in the middle, we're going to weight that down so that it's like a point there right above that cup. So what happens is, as the condensation collects on the trash bag, it runs to that center point, and when it gets enough moisture there, it forms a droplet and drops into the cup. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to finish putting dirt on the outside edges, get that centered dropped over the cup, and leave it alone. So we're getting there. So that piece of dirt, a clod of dirt, is in the center, and it's sloping all these sides right over the top of that cup. And I'm just taking this extra dirt now and going around and refortifying the trash bag to make sure that it doesn't pull out later. And trying not to get into slide down there. That's the hard part. I've had to do this twice now, because just about the time I get it, the dirt just slides down. And it doesn't matter, I just don't want it too heavy that it pulls the sides down into the cup and doesn't do its purpose. So right now, this is a sealed container for the most part. And I'm just going to finish putting dirt on it, and then we're going to head back and see about getting the camp put in. So that's my next step. Alright, so I've opted to go with the Vienna sausages and barbecue sauce. I'm not even heating the bad boys up. They're already cooked. We're going to evade. We're not going to have a big blazing fire with smoke rolling out for it to be seen. I mean, might as well go get you a spotlight and sleep with it. So we're going cold on this. I'm going to put that to the side. I mean, I could fold up my little stove and sit the can on top of it with the sterno underneath, but I'm going to conserve fuel. Like I said, they're already cooked. It's a hot day. And I'm feeling pretty brave. I mean, I've had MREs. These cannot be as bad as MREs. I really like these. These would be good breakfast sausages. They got a smoky flavor. It's got the taste of a sausage. I don't care that they're using animal innards to make these. They made them taste like that. I'll eat them all day long. I endorse this. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with supper, and then we'll get that tent put on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's the tent. Pretty simple. Couple poles, 8 stakes, and it's done. So let's take a look on the inside now. Okay, so now we're on the inside. We got a nice little screen down there, letting the air through. Let's look at this side. So this tent is not for the claustrophobic. Oh yeah, the pillow worked out pretty good. Stuffed dry leaves So as you can see, this end also has the screen on it. So it's bug proof, that's a plus. Rain proof, waterproof, and wind proof, and bug proof. I think it could probably take 1 or 2 nuclear attacks, I ain't sure, but got it on Amazon really cheap, like 25 bucks, maybe 30. But it's paid for itself. Yeah, the water thing, there's like no water around here. There's no standing water. There's no running water. There's a cup buried in the ground with a trash bag on it. And that's my only hope right now. So, yeah, we're going to see how that turns out in the morning. And the other thing that I found going through that pack is I have no coffee. Tomorrow's going to be rough. There's probably going to be a lot of angry words said. Probably some stuff thrown. And people will be fired. I think I'm firing my lead technician and the equipment manager, because that coffee seems pretty important, and it's going to be more so in the morning. But on the upside, I'm giving the cameraman a raise. Alright, so I still got another side of the woods. I'm going to check that out and see if there's a water source, because I got these different ways of utilizing water. I need to figure out how to use them, make sure they're going to work. That's the main goal of this, is to see how the gear does and to make sure that it works. So I'm going to quit laying down in this really hot tent because it's holding in all the heat right now. And I'm going to go see if I can find some water on the other side. So I'll let you know. Okay, interesting fact. This is a species of hemlock. It really loves moist areas, but these leaves are dried and curdled, so it's not looking good for this home team. So I thought maybe I'd find some. So I thought maybe I'd find some water out here. It's got some nice deep tire tracks, and absolutely no water. So I'm pretty excited about this. Wild turkey feather. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. That's pretty neat. I haven't seen them in this area before. So maybe we'll find the bird that it belongs to. So purple clover. It's not bad. It's kind of a sweet flavor. A little bit of juice there. I don't know that I'm going to find enough to satisfy this thirst, but it is helping, because it's getting that saliva. Oh, excuse me, it's got that saliva going in my mouth, so my throat don't feel so dry, my mouth doesn't feel dry. If I keep this up, maybe I convince myself I'm not that thirsty. I just want to say the salty vanilla sausages and barbecue sauce seem to escalate this need for water. And I've walked a lot of areas and nothing. It's still probably 80 degrees. It's pretty warm out here. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but the shirt's drenched. So I'm going to continue grazing on this clover and enjoy the sweetness of it. And it's a little depressing thinking that survival's turned me into a vegetarian, that I cannot find a piece of meat right now, but I'm actually enjoying a piece of clover. It just seems so wrong. It's so wrong. Okay, so what we have here are wild rose hips. These pieces here. That's after the flower is gone. This is what we leave. Nice little berry. So we're going to pick some of these and eat them, just because the roses and they're there. Yeah. Well, not my first choice. It's kind of woody. Okay, start date 12,536. In the past 12,000 years of looking for water, there was no sources found at all. Lots of trees, lots of dry ground. Ate some clover, ate a rose hip, seen a lot of wild turkey feathers, but nothing that contained water. So we're gonna head back to the camp. Hope we can find it. And try to procure a source. I really got my fingers crossed on that hole in the ground. Hard to say at this point. So let me find camp, and we're going to continue this little talk about the water and the lack of. Well, here we are back at camp, and I brought all the water I could find. I'm so ready for this. Oh yeah. No water, none at all, none. So this is where you got to start thinking about some stuff. First off, this kit. Let's adjust this bad boy a little bit. There we go. Woo, man, is it warm. A little lightheaded. I notice if I'm bending over doing something, I stand up quick, I get lightheaded. That's a sign of dehydration. No headaches yet, so, but it's 6:30. About another 2.5 hours it'll be dark. So I'll be hitting a sack then. In the morning we're gonna check the water still behind me and see if any water is developed into the cup. I really hope there is at this point. If not, we have another method that's going to involve that poncho that I brought and that cornfield. That cornfield. We're going to find a cornfield.
So 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't sleep very well. The number on this air mattress is probably about 40,000, maybe a million. And tree roots. I think there's a rock, and not a lot of comfort. So,
yeah, good morning. So I broke out the poncho, and I'm going to get that back in the package. So I got lucky enough that last night the temperature dropped below the dew point, and this corn has condensation on it because of the dew, early morning dew. But we're going to rush. The wind's come up, sun's coming up, the wind's picked up, and we're going to start losing it. So we're going to go out there and collect it. That's why I have this on. I'll pull this front together like an apron and walk through that corn, and then hopefully it's going to collect on this. Once again, another theory that I'm trying out. Might be a loser, I don't know. We just need to get water at this point. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'll try to share my bounty here. So that's what I got. You can see it in there. I got water now. This is about 6 rows of corn, and so this technique worked out. You have to go sideways. So I'm gonna get me a drink of water here, minus the bugs, and there's a lot of bugs. And we're gonna proceed from here. We're gonna check out our still. I got enough light in the woods now. We can dig that cup up. So here's our morning swallow of water, and I'm pretty impressed with this one. All right, we'll check in later. Alright, so this is what I came into this morning. Looks like the raccoons decided they needed this more than I did. Really discouraging. Yeah, it's dry. So we don't know if that worked or not. All right, well, learning lesson. Well, there's that. I don't even know what to say about that. I was in there for 14 hours. I guess I learned a lot, that I need to put that hole like right outside the tin, evidently. And start it maybe first thing in the morning, let it set all day versus all night. You know, didn't have a lot of option, but that's something to keep in mind. The cup was dry, the bag was dry, but still it was pulled open. The cup was drug out of the hole. So that's how I know it was coon. And so I don't know if that technique works or not. We have to try it again and maybe specifically look at just doing that. We didn't come out empty-handed though. We got some water. The poncho technique worked. I mean, it's labor intensive and it's slow, but it did work. It made water. Nothing else did. You know, so cheers. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. It's not water. It's got a flavor to it. I'm not sure what it is, but it's got a flavor. It might be the release agents for the parka that I use, you know. But yeah, it's pretty good. Well, not really. It's different. I think that's probably what Pixie Tears would taste like, or garden gnomes. I think it would be a lot of it. It wasn't so bad. It's just a different taste. But I got water in my body now, a little bit. So, and that was the goal of this trip. The only thing I really wanted to center on was that water providing technique of the B.O.B bag, and yeah, it didn't work. So I got to figure something else out. Even with all the different techniques and ways of doing it, there was no water available, really dry. So, you know, we'll take that. That's a good thing versus coming out here and having rain and everything else, and a big old pump station right beside me, because I never would have known. I never would have done the poncho technique through the corn, that's for sure. And that did work out. And you do have to go sideways. You let the leaves brush across your front, and then it'll run into the bottom. I started out going straight down, but it was just pushing the leaves out of the way and nothing really going in. So there is that technique. You gotta go sideways and go slow, and just go slow. And then I think I was out there probably 10 minutes for that amount of water, and it was a heavy dew. I was surprised with that. But okay, so that's all I got to jabber with. I'm glad you got to share this humiliation and torture, and self-inflicted torture. That sleeping on that ground was hostile. It was hostile. I'll probably spend the day sleeping to get over what I didn't get last night, and then I'll figure out a way to enhance this water technique. There's got to be something out there. The next one's food, and after that maybe shelter. But yeah, the next one's food, and we're gonna test that out and refine that, because I know that's going to be necessary. I want all these bugs knocked out in case I ever do need this. I don't want to get out here on an actual basis and then find out that this didn't work. That's the wrong time to be trying to modify and figuring stuff out. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm done rambling. I'm Gary, Spinning with Nature. Thank you for watching.